And so the so-called reciprocal tariffs are off again, for now at any rate. President Trump has announced a 90-day pause, as he called it, on the application of these, but really they're unlikely to take effect at least as heavily as feared earlier. Also because Trump has announced that talks are being prepared to secure tailor-made country-specific deals, and it would appear that whatever numbers result from these talks are likely to be lower than the rose garden numbers that were displayed to all of us. What does stay in place are the baseline tariffs of 10% on almost all countries, exceptions being Canada and Mexico and China, the humongous exception. On China, tariffs were relatively low at 10% at the start. They've been raised to 125%. That includes 2 rounds of punishment tariffs, really adding to the reciprocal tariffs coming on top of the earlier ones. Canada and the EU both have introduced a measure of tentative reciprocal tariffs, but these 2 countries have not been handed the Chinese kind of punishment, not yet anyhow. But really, around the China numbers, a great deal of movement has taken place. China launched into rapid bridge building with countries also hit high by tariffs, even if not as high as China. The US moved now on Wednesday to set 125% on China and 10% only relatively on the others. Appears to be a move to drive a wedge into what was seen as an alliance being built up between China and the other countries. Trump says China will come around too. He says she is a smart guy and a friend he respects, and he says that China and the US together will make a very good deal. No immediate sign of that yet though. India is in a good place. It was the first country to get into talks with the US trade officials on a country-specific trade deal. But then, not all troubles have vanished. Steel and aluminum tariffs stay, as do those on automobiles, and we still await the fate of the tariffs we are told are due on pharmaceuticals, and that could hit India quite hard, and then the further tariffs on auto parts, which could also hit the Indian industry quite heavily.